actually affect any of the dice rolls.
It sounded cool though.
It did sound cool.
He probably yelled something. And then the other 3 dudes down here can still shoot, and they're just going to shoot the front.
What does Aragorn yell in Elvish when he tells them? Talis! Or something like that. I don't know.
Faigivar, Dinalank, Anurak.
Talis! Today, part 1 of the beginning of me attempting to make the Hornburg. So I'll be going through, it'll be more of a time-lapse style video, but feel free to join me on the journey where I attempt to make the Hornburg. So I'm starting out, I've already cut my pieces of foam. I found a rock in my backyard. And essentially, I'm just texturing all of the sides of the foam. This will give me a natural-ish looking stone texture when it's done. So we've textured our foam, now we've got to cut it into the size bricks we're after. So for this I'll be using a hot wire cutter to quickly slice the foam. That's not a necessity, but I paid money for one, so I'm going to use it. Now the foam, when it's melting, can be a little bit stinky, and not only that, it's probably not super good to breathe in. So no matter how stupid I look, and this is not the first time I've looked stupid on the channel, I'm going to be masking up. So this blue foam I'm using, green foam, whatever you call it, is not fantastic. I used to be able to buy an orangey pink, peachy colored foam that was a lot more dense, that could take texturing and was a lot more durable. So fear not, any foamites out there that have used this kind of foam before. It's pretty garbage, but I've got a plan to make it a little bit more durable and rugged and have some nice stone texture. So over the past few weeks, I've been messing around a little bit with different techniques on how I want to make my stone structures for Helm's Deep. Initially, I was hoping against hope that I could actually take big old chunks of this foam and gouge it out and use a heat gun to separate the gaps and to really kind of like emphasize the stone texture. It works pretty well. I'm just not accurate enough, because if you make a single mistake with a cut, it messes up the entire pattern. So I'll show some of these at a later date that I've actually done up with the knife and hot foam texture. There will potentially be parts of the big build that I'll be using that technique. It just requires a lot of finesse that I don't have. Let's assemble some bricks, I guess. Here's a piece I've done earlier. I don't know if you can see that. It's got the cool, there we go, look at that. It's got the cool stone texture. This is my test piece, but it's coming together alright. So I've got the foam on some aluminium foil. And essentially, oh no, first up, what we're going to do is give all of these bricks a little bit more texture. So I've textured all of my little bricks. I've got a ton. It's not going to be enough, but at least should get one wall section covered. Essentially what I'm doing is taking these bricks, affixing them to the wall using caulking, and I have these thin strips of cardboard that I'm using as separators, so my bricks actually have space in between them, which the reason for that will come later when I actually begin texturing the wall. So when that cork's dry, we'll give it an hour or so, and then we'll hit it with our next step, which will start to harden it up and give it a little bit of color, and should make it look pretty red. So before we start solidifying up our walls, we're going to add our second layer. So here's where we got up to already. So we've got our wall, and it needs to be a lot higher. So I need to cut a little bit of foam off this layer. So we'll see how we go. So initially I want the wall to be 160 millimeters high, and I've just decided that I'm basically going to make the top where people walk separately, rather than trying to do the cobblestone effect on the completed wall. So that way, if I mess it up, I haven't destroyed the whole wall piece. Here we go. So as you can see, building these walls is very, very time consuming. But the reason I'm approaching it with this particular technique is for two reasons. One, I actually want this to be very durable. I want the board that I'm building to be able to be played on, and I want a little bit of longevity out of this board. So the wall will be taking a little bit of beating. There will be a removable section for when or if the Isengard forces blow up the deeping wall. So there'll be a piece that will be able to be removed, so I'll need that to be a little bit more durable. And I also think it'll take a bit of damage from ladders and models kind of climbing over the top. So in all my test pieces, I think this technique's going to give me the best look and durability. Fingers crossed it's worth it. Don't forget to follow Bill on Instagram at @_bristles and follow me on Instagram at @hardcore_hobby. Feel free to like our new Facebook page. It's called the D6 Fix, and join our Discord. Links will be in the description for all of those below.
Next round of combat! You won an absurd amount of these.
Thanks for the dice, Bill.
Oh, where are you ghosties? Can I just love it?
Next round of combat.
Oh man.
You win.